viewers of 7 TV Media. We are live tonight following up the full coverage of the 7 TV during this African Cup of Nations. We are honored to welcome today in one of the episodes of Lucet Khan, 7 TV Khan, Mr. Kwame, journalist from Ghana, from the Class Media Group, or the group Class Media Group, who I had the chance and the honor to meet him in Egypt in 2019, and as well in the World Cup in Qatar in 2022. And I still remember our famous interview in Egypt during the African Cup in 2019. Welcome, Mr. Kwame.
Thank you.
Mr. Kwame, as a first question, where did Ghana disappear from this African Cup?
Well, it's a very sad story, if you ask me. I mean, there's a competition that many would have thought that Ghana would have been there. I mean, the last time we missed out playing at the AFCON was in 2004. That was the last time we missed out in Tunisia. And since that time, we've qualified for every single African Cup of Nations. In 2006, we're in Egypt. In 2008, we're in Ghana. Of course, we hosted it. In 2010, if you recall, we got to the final in Angola. 2012, we got to the semi-final in Gabon, Equatorial Guinea. 2013, we got to the semi-final in South Africa. 2015, we got to the final in Equatorial Guinea. 2017, we got to the semi-final in Gabon again. 2019, that's where we started declining. So 2019, we got to the round of 16 when the competition was expanded to 24 teams. We lost out in the round of 16 to Tunisia. 2022, we lost out in the first round. 2024, we lost out in the first round again. And this time around, we did not qualify at all. I mean, if you find yourself in a group that had the likes of Niger, Sudan, and Angola, with the greatest of respect to all of them, you were expecting that Ghana would qualify. I mean, when it comes to the quality of materials available to all the 4 teams, none of them would come anywhere close to Ghana. But maybe, just maybe, our players did not have the motivation, our players did not have the desire to, go through 6 matches, get results, and qualify for the AFCON this year. In those 6 matches, we did not win a game. And once you don't win a game in the qualifiers, you don't deserve to be at the AFCON. And that's why we are not here.
It's a very sad story that Ghana has been going through this, especially as we know, Ghana is a big nation of football, and that's what we saw lately in the game between Ashanti Kotoko and Wydad Casablanca that you covered. It was in Ghana, but hope that Ghana is football and that the national teams come back to the level as we, as African journalists, knew the national team of Ghana. To start with our first question. Morocco will be facing Tanzania in the second round, one of the strongest games of the second round. Morocco, of course, has been qualified as first of the group with 7 points, a victory against Les Îles Comores, a tie against Mali, and a victory against Zambia. We as Moroccan journalists and the fans have not been satisfied during the 2 first games. Walid Regragui was highly criticized by the Moroccan journalists and the Moroccan fans. Your lecture for the first 3 games of the national Moroccan team.
Well, I've had the opportunity of seeing all the 3 games, and to be fair, there were many who were anticipating Morocco to play at a very high level compared to this. I feel like Coach Walid Regragui has been on this level of criticism as a result of his own success. Yeah. I mean, if you look at his achievement with Wydad, when he won the CAF Champions League, that's when he got the job to manage the national team. And once he got the job to manage the national team, he takes them to the semi-final of the World Cup. Along the line, Morocco had to play the likes of Spain and Portugal. Now, when you get a result against these teams that had the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and co, and you get to the semi-final of a World Cup, all of a sudden, standards and expectations rise, and people would want to see this team consistently perform. Now, when you get to that kind of point, you cannot then literally plummet. The fans want you to stay at a very high level. Now, this is the thing. Between 2022 and now, a lot has changed. A number of these Moroccan players still playing at a relatively high level, but it's one thing being motivated to play at a World Cup and get very far. It's another thing when you have to play in other competitions, if you ask me. So this is the thing. He takes a team to the semi-final of the World Cup, and every Moroccan fan is expecting that every time Morocco steps out onto the pitch, they perform to that level again. We saw what happened in La Côte d'Ivoire. The performance was not great. Morocco did not have a very good AFCON in 2024.
Elimination against South Africa.
That's right. In La Côte d'Ivoire.
And even, sorry to interrupt you, even the coach of South Africa criticized Walid Regragui.
Exactly.
A coach who plays with one technical formation is not a good coach.
Maybe. Well, that's his opinion.
Before the game.
Yes, before the game. Yes, that's his opinion. I respect that. But like I'm saying, because of his achievements with the national team, expectations have gone on another level. Every time Morocco steps out, the fans want to see a performance. So I recall watching the very first game in Rabat where, in the first half it was 0-0 and, the fans were getting agitated. You're playing against a team like Comoros with the greatest of respect to them. You're expecting Morocco to get a result because of the quality of materials available to them. Morocco finds a way in the second half to win by 2 goals. But against Mali, it was always going to be difficult, and this is why. Every time the Northern African teams play against teams from the southern part of the continent, physically, it becomes a challenge, physically. And that's what I've seen over the years. So it was always going to be a challenge against a very physically imposing side like Mali. So even though you scored the very first goal, it was very difficult to pretty much stand the might of the Malians on a physical level. And once that result did not go well, I can understand that the journalists were not happy and all of that. But in the third game, I thought they responded, and they responded very strongly. That 3-0 result for me will do their confidence a world of good going into the game against Tanzania. Again, I've had the opportunity to see the Tanzanian matches. It's not very often that you qualify with only 2 points. Tanzania only qualified with only 2 points, and they haven't won a game at the AFCON. They haven't won a game. They've drawn 2 and lost 1. Now, when you have this kind of record going into a round of 16 against a host nation, I'm not too sure that the Tanzanians are going to be lucky again. I think that the quality the Moroccans possess, with the greatest of respect, compared to what the Tanzanians possess, is relatively big. I don't expect Morocco to struggle, but football is a very funny game. You just never know what could happen. But I am very confident that on the back of what I've seen of this Moroccan team and that of Tanzania, Morocco should be good enough to qualify.
Yeah, but speaking about Tanzania, they have tied against Tunisia in the last game. Tunisia have scored with the penalty shots, but then the Tanzanian national team managed to tie during this game. Not forgetting that they were a very strong group playing with Nigeria and Tunisia, one of the biggest nations in African football, especially Nigeria. As you see, they have won 3 games on 3. So do you think that Tanzania can manage to make a surprise, or as you said, maybe the luck will end against the Atlas Lions?
Well, again, football is a very funny game. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the world of football, but sometimes you also have to be realistic. I am looking at this game realistically for both teams. I have seen the 3 Moroccan games. I've seen the 3 Tanzanian games as well. I do not think that Tanzania possess the quality that the Moroccans possess. Player quality, technical direction, and all of that. And let's not forget the fans. There will be over 60,000 fans who will be at the stadium screaming and shouting. I was at the last game of Morocco, and the noise was another level. I've seen this Tunisian team. They've played another Northern African team in Tunisia, but I saw that Tunisian team being dismantled by Nigeria until they pulled 2 goals late into the game. I do not think that the quality of the Tunisian team is anywhere close to the Moroccan team, and I do not expect that although they drew that game to qualify to the stage of the competition, they will be good enough to handle the Moroccans. I think that Morocco should get a result.
Yeah, and what about last player of the match was Ayoub El-Kaabi. What is your opinion about this great Moroccan striker?
I've been following El-Kaabi from like 2017. I mean, when he played around, and when he played at the first CHAN that you hosted in 2018, and you won that competition as well. I mean, that's where a lot of Ghanaians in my country started following, the career of El-Kaabi. He's been in and around the national team. He wasn't a big part of the team in the World Cup in Qatar. He's been playing in Greece in recent times, playing for Olympiacos, and his career has not really been at a very high level.
Scored lately against Real Madrid.
That's right. His career has not been at a very high level. But there's the thing. In the last few years, Youssef El-Nesri has been pretty much the lead striker for Morocco. So if I recall, in the first game, when El-Kaabi did not start, it appeared to me that Morocco struggled. And then when he was introduced, he started scoring the goals, and all of a sudden, El Nesri is now on the bench, and El Kabi gets to start the games as well.
Yeah.
That is what goals do for the confidence of a striker.
Yeah.
Once the
first game, there was Rahimi Sufyan. He was
Sufyan Rahimi as well.
Al Ain in United Arab.
That's
Emirates.
right.
Yeah.
And then El Kabi gets his opportunity. I mean, as a striker, what helps your confidence is when you score goals.
Yeah.
And once you start scoring, it gives you a certain level of confidence.
Yeah.
It gives you a certain level of energy. And once he scored,
the
moment he was introduced,
you
just knew that he was going to take that kind of momentum on. And he scored 3 goals in 3 matches already. He's buzzing. He's going. And I'm sure if he gets the opportunity to start tomorrow as well, he would want to ensure that he stays in the starting 11 of that team.
Yeah.
And for me, 3 matches, 3 goals, it does a lot of, it builds the confidence of a striker pretty much, in my opinion.
Yeah. Thank you for your opinion, and wishing that Kabi will be the striker of this, as a Moroccan, of course.
What do you want to see him is to score.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing.
And being striker number 1 in
that's right. Once he's scoring, everyone is happy.
And the bicycle goal,
I mean, that was crazy.
The only player I think who scored from in the last 20 years in Morocco, of course, is Mustafa Haji. He was he was the ex right-handed man of Hervé Renard, who was the coach of the Moroccan national team, and he was also he was ex Ballon d'Or winner, the Golden Ball winner of the African nation during 1998. If I'm not mistaken. We also have his brother Youssef Haji, who is the second coach of the Moroccan national team.
Okay.
Yeah, he is he's helping the head coach Tariq Skitiwi, and he lately won the Arab Cup with the Moroccan national team.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So Kwame, if you don't mind, we will go to the our second part of the episode, and we will speak about the CAF Online made the best 11 starting players of the first round, and they first of all we will start with the Nigerian coach, who is Eric. He's the coach of Nigeria.
Eric Chill,
yeah, and he was nominated as the best coach of the group stage. Second, the goalkeeper El Shenawi, one of the best goalkeepers in the African continent, and maybe one of the best in the Arab world as well. He is the goalkeeper of Al Ahli in Egypt. Very experienced goalkeeper. We'll go with the right back defense line, in which they chose Mizraoui as the Moroccan defender playing for Manchester United. They also chose the defender from Congo,
Axel Tuanzebe.
Yeah, Axel Tuanzebe, and also from Burkina Faso, Tapsuba.
Yeah, Edmond
Tapsuba, and Abdi from Tunisia as left defender. Also Baliba from Cameroon. We mentioned Mizraoui, and as something to mention, Mizraoui is not his original position. He usually plays
in the left back.
Yeah, in the left back with Manchester. Brahim Diaz in the midfield. Lukman as well from Nigeria. Mehrez from Algeria as well, and Ahmed from Ivory Coast, and Sadio Mane from Senegal. What is your lecture about do you share their same opinion, or do you have other choices if you were a coach?
Well, I don't think I would differ too much from the selectors in choosing these players. I mean, I've seen all of them in action. I mean, Stefan El Shanawi has been brilliant for the Egyptian national team at club level, at the national team level. And it's fair to say that at this competition as well, he's made some very, very good saves. Yeah, I recall I saw the game against South Africa where they played with 10 men for virtually half of the game, and he made some outstanding saves, in that game there. And the Egyptians have barely conceded, a goal as far as this competition is concerned. I've seen Axel Tuanzebe play for DR Congo. The only time they have conceded a goal in this year's tournament was against Senegal.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, they won their first game against Benin. They defeated Botswana in their last game as well. They've only conceded a goal, and he's been brilliant in defense for them. My surprise has to do with Mazraoui being the right full back. of this. I know Moroccans are not going to be happy, but I was very surprised because in the games that I've watched him even play for,
don't.
yeah,
They're
even
not
in the
satisfied with
last
his,
game, exactly. In the last game, he played as a left fullback, and
Yeah.
I thought for me in the group stages, the best right back has been Aaron Wan-Bissaka for DR Congo. If you ask me, I've seen all the Congolese matches, and I think he's been brilliant. Mazraoui does not even play in the right fullback position for. So how does he get selected as the best right back of the group stages so far? I found it a bit confusing. But Tapsoba, again, I've watched all of Burkina's matches. I've watched all of them.
Yeah.
And I think he's been brilliant for the Burkinabe.
Yeah.
Even in the game that they lost by a goal to 0 against Algeria on match day 2, again, I thought he was outstanding. He's brought in a lot of experience from his time at Bayer Leverkusen.
What about Abdi from Tunisia?
I've seen 2 of the 3 Tunisian games, and I love the way he likes to search forward.
Yeah.
No, he's a modern left-footed player.
Yeah.
So every time that Tunisia is on the attack, he joins the attack, and he's pretty much, adding up to the numbers when they search for it. So again, I am not surprised that he makes it there. Balaba has been a player that has been mentioned, in big conversations, even in Europe.
Yeah.
There's been talk that he could even be going to Manchester United next season and all of that. And he showed that in the Cameroonian, jersey in this competition. I've watched all the 3 Cameroonian matches.
It's maybe a surprise how Cameroon performed in the group stage.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising with all the issues with their coach.
Exactly. And President Samuel
and President Samuel Eto'o as well. But they've come in, and apart from the game against La Côte d'Ivoire where they drew, they won the 2 other games as well. And I thought that Balaba was exceptional. Brahim Diaz, we've seen him. I mean, he's been brilliant for Morocco. I mean, I think that if I want to talk about Diaz, we'll probably spend the whole day on him. So he's there. Lukman, again, has been brilliant for Nigeria. He's one of the reasons why Nigeria have won all the 3 games they've played so far. Apart from Nigeria and Algeria, no other team won all their group games. No. Nigeria won all 3, Algeria won all 3 as well. And then I look at the strikers. Riyad Mahrez.
He didn't play the last game.
Because they had won their first 2 games. And maybe the coach wanted to rest him.
They have this good player called Haj Musa.
That's right.
He's one of the surprises of this
brilliant
AFCON,
a very, very fine player in my opinion. And then Ahmad, of course, in the first 2 matches he scored very important goals for the Ivorians, and he's there. Sadio Mane. I've watched all the Senegalese games in Tanger, and he's been phenomenal for them. So if you ask me, this looks like a very decent starting 11 from the group stages, but Mazraoui. I think that Aaron Wan-Bissaka should have been there rather than Mazraoui.
And in my point of view, I think that Osimhen deserves to be a striker instead of the Ivory Coast striker.
Well, maybe because it's because Osimhen has not been scoring the goals. Yeah.
But he has been doing great performance.
Exactly. For a striker, I mean, you are judged pretty much by the goals that you score. So maybe that's why he has not made his way there.
Yeah, we will speak about the round of 16 games. First game will be tomorrow. Mali against. I mean, it's not the first game, but it's one of the best games of the round of 16. Strongest games. Mali against Tunisia. What is your opinion?
That's going to be an interesting one. I remember saying earlier in the program that the North Africans appear to struggle with the physicality of the West African teams. That could just be a challenge for them. The challenge with Mali is that they are not scoring goals. They are not scoring. I mean, you can't be in a competition and not score. They've drawn all the 3 matches that they've played.
They qualified second with 3 points.
That's right. And they have not won a game. You need to score goals. I mean, they couldn't score a goal against Algeria. They scored a goal against Morocco on match day 2. They scored a goal on match day 1 as well.
Against Zambia.
Against Zambia. But it's not enough when you can't score goals. If Mali are able to find a way to score, I think they should be good enough to beat Tunisia. But that's the worry for every Malian fan who will be following the AFCON. They can't seem to score, and it's a problem.
Yeah, one of our colleagues, I think she's a French journalist, because I was there during the press conference of Mali against the Moroccan national team, and she told she asked the coach, the Belgium coach of Mali, she was like, why doesn't Mali play till they only played the final once of the African Cup, never won an African title? and his answer, he was very optimistic. He was like, maybe this year we can change this. What do you think about that?
Well, that's going to be a big ask for me. Just like you said, the last time Mali got to the final of the AFCON
Yeah,
must be 1972. It was. That's a very long time
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
And since then, they've been good enough for a few third places here and there. They get to the semi-final of competitions, but I do not honestly think that they have the quality in their team to take them that far.
yeah,
That's my opinion. I mean, for all the noise that is made about even Yves Bissouma, who
yeah,
plays for Spurs in England,
yeah,
he has not really been at a very high level, both for club and country, in the last few years. And when you take him out of the equation, I'm not too sure there are too many standout players for Mali that they can count on. Collectively, they are not bad as a unit,
yeah,
but individually, I'm not too sure they have the stars who can make something out of
yeah,
nothing when it gets very tough. I'm not too sure.
yeah. What about Tunisia? We know that their federation has been going through a lot of problems. Their ex-president is currently in jail because of some illegal transactions.
Mm,
But I mean, we know that Tunisia had very strong clubs such
mm.
as Esperance
Esperance,
de Tunis, yeah,
Sfaxien,
Sfax,
Tour
yeah,
Sportif du Sahel, and
yeah,
go. Yeah.
exactly. So, do you think that Tunisia as well can be the surprise of this AFCON, qualifying with 4 points as second behind Nigeria?
I'm not too sure about that. I mean, the last time the Tunisians impressed me at the AFCON, you'd have to go all the way back to almost 20 years ago
Yeah,
when they hosted and won,
yeah,
where the Roger Lemaire leading them to win that game. Incidentally, they beat Morocco in that final.
yeah,
I mean, since that time, I haven't seen the Tunisians really compete. I haven't really seen them compete. And when you look at this team that they've presented, respectfully, the only star in the team is Hannibal Mesri.
Hannibal, yeah,
Yeah,
he's good.
when you
He's a
take
midfielder.
that's right. When you take him out of
Yeah,
the team looks fairly okay.
yeah,
You know, club football on the continent, the Tunisians have always been there. I
yeah,
mean, their clubs consistently perform. Esperance Sportive du Tunis,
yeah,
Club Sportif Sfaxien, Tour
yeah,
Sportif du Sahel,
yeah,
Club Africain. I mean, they are always
yeah,
performing, but at the national team level, we
yeah,
don't really see much
yeah,
of the national. They are almost always qualifying for tournaments. They are always qualifying for the World Cup. They are always qualifying for the
yeah,
African Cup. Tunisia are going to the World Cup for the seventh time. They don't appear to struggle to qualify for a tournament, but when they go to a tournament, they barely perform.
yeah,
I am not expecting them to go very far. Even if they beat Mali tomorrow,
yeah.
I'm not too sure they can go beyond the quarterfinal stage.
Okay. And the other game is Sudan against Egypt. No, I mean Senegal. Sorry, against Sudan.
Yeah,
Your opinion?
at Tangier.
Yeah, it's gonna be at 5 o'clock
Yes,
at
that's
the
at
big
Tangier.
Tanger Stadium.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, it
Yeah,
looks like a walkover on
yeah,
paper.
yeah,
I mean, if you've seen, and I've seen all the Senegalese teams. I was in Tangier to watch their game against DR Congo. They have so much quality in their
yeah,
team. A lot of experienced players, players who have played at a very high level, players who are still playing at a very high level
yeah,
compared to that of Sudan. But this is the thing for Sudan. You know, the coach is from Ghana,
yeah,
and he's found a way to get these guys to play. And one of the things that strikes me about the Sudanese team, sadly, there is war at home.
yeah.
Sadly, there is
Exactly.
war
Yeah,
at home. And some of the players have even lost family
yeah,
members and all of that. I remember speaking to the coaches and some of the players,
yeah,
including Manu, and he told me something that was very striking, that they are not just here just to play football.
yeah.
They are playing for all the people in
For the nation.
Sudan
Yeah,
because of what is happening back home.
yeah,
That's their biggest motivation.
yeah,
Now, when you have players who are motivated by something like this, they could go out there on the pitch and do anything.
yeah,
They could play 2000%. On paper, it looks like a very easy win for Senegal. But again, football is a very funny sport. When players going into a game so motivated, like I hear of the Sudanese team, they could just
surprises happen.
surprise.
Yeah,
They could just hold. Now, this is what I'm seeing.
yeah,
If it works for them, they could just hold the Senegalese for as long as they can. Game goes to extra time, possibly penalties, and then anything can happen.
yeah,
But if Senegal scores in the course of the game, then I think that it might just be game over.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, wishing good luck to both of them,
sure.
Sudan and Senegal. The other game is at 5 o'clock at the big stadium of Agadir. Egypt between Benin.
Well, again, the Egyptians are are looking great.
Yeah.
You have to say Egypt have always performed creditably when they play in the AFCON. Even if they're not going to win it, they perform creditably.
Yeah. Even though their coach was highly criticized.
Yeah, it always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a legend,
Yeah.
you know, with
He's
the
a big
national team,
legend. Yeah.
leading the team to win the cup in '98 in Burkina Faso,
Yeah.
and then, you know, being around and these days getting the job. But that's the most important thing. He's qualified the team to the next stage of the competition, and once he's there, I mean, anything can happen. Again, I've seen the Beninois, and I have to say they have not impressed me. I mean, they haven't won a game at this competition yet. The Egyptians, in all the 3 games I've seen, they look fabulous.
Yeah.
Even in the last game where they dropped, you know, rested a few players, they still look like a very good side.
Yeah.
And we get to see these players because a number of them play for Akli and Zamalek.
Yeah.
So we get to see them. Beyond Salah and Mamouche, who play in the English Premier League, a number of these players, we see them play on the continent.
50% are from Zamalek and the other 50 from Ahli. Most of them from Ahli.
Exactly. So we get to see them play in the CAF Champions League or, you know, the other competitions that they do get to play. So I foresee the Egyptians getting a result. I think that they have too much quality and experience in their team compared to the Beninois.
Yeah. Okay. That said, Ivory Coast against Burkina Faso.
Yes, that's all going to be another cracking game. Yeah. I mean, I recall before they played
They're
against,
playing in Marrakesh, by the way.
Yes, before they played a game against their final game against you know, their opponents in Sudan.
Yeah.
I spoke to the Burkinabes and I was asking them, depending on where they finish in the group, it will determine who they play. So if they had lost out to Sudan, they were going to be playing against Senegal.
Yeah.
If they won, they were going to be playing either Cameroon or La Côte d'Ivoire. Which one did they prefer? Yeah. And I remember they were like, if you want to win, you have to be the best.
Yeah.
So they don't really care who they're going to be playing with. So now that they are there, I'm sure they will find a way to, you know, handle the Ivorians. I think that the Burkinabes have decent players.
Yeah.
I think that the players are units. They don't have the stellar quality players of a very high level like the Ivorians or the Cameroonians. We've seen the Ivorians, they have the likes of Amad Diallo and all of that. So clearly, when it comes to a bit more quality in their team, they would have it beyond the Burkinabes. But again, football is a very funny sport. When you go into a game and you believe that you can make things happen, things can work in your favor. Yeah. That's what I see carrying the Burkinabes.
Yeah.
But then again, I look at the Ivorians, defending champions. Their players are still very much in buoyant mood after winning the AFCON on home soil last year, and would want to carry on from where they left off in 2024. I just think that they would edge past the Burkinabes.
Yeah. Speaking about Ivory Coast, in the last African Cup edition, they have made the surprise to win that last edition of the African Cup because of the last victory of Morocco, which gave them the possibility to qualify as best third of the group stage, and then they played the second second group stage with a lot of confidence, a lot of ambition, and they changed also the coach, which gave them a positive added value to the team. Do you think Ivory Coast can surprise us again as they did in the last? Even they look much stronger this edition, better than they started during the last edition.
And I recall very well what happened in the previous competition.
Yeah.
After winning their first game,
by the way.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, okay.
After winning their first game against Guinea-Bissau, then everything just went terrible, especially in the final group game where they lost against Equatorial Guinea. They lost, I think, by 4 goals or something like that. I was at the stadium that day because Ghana was going to be playing against Mozambique right after. And when they lost that final game, the home nation just gave up. I mean, nobody believed that they were going to qualify until Morocco did them a favor by beating Zambia, if I recall. Yes. And so once Morocco beat Zambia, that is how come the Ivorians qualified to the next stage of the competition. And then they changed the manager. So Gassi left and then MS5, who was assisting the team, took over. And once he took over, as a former player, I think he found a way to get the players to believe the positive speeches and all of that. So if you recall, in the round of 16, they played Senegal.
Yeah.
And then the game went into extra time and penalties, and then they won.
They won.
So from that point, they started believing that they could go very far. And game after game after game, they were excelling. They were excelling. Even in the final against Nigeria, where they conceded, they still found a way to get back into the game and eventually go on and win it. And I think that's what's been carrying them from that time till this time. And the players believe that they have what it takes. But of course, when you're playing away from home, it's not the same. At home, they would have 60,000 fans cheering them on. At this point, I'm sure they're going to be taking it game after game and see how far they can go.
Other game is of the round of 16, of course, Algeria against Congo. Algeria with 3 consecutive wins, 9 points. We saw a second team of Algeria during the last game, and which were highly surprising. They played really good. Nice tiki-taka. I watched all the 90 minutes. Congo as well, which are, I think, in my opinion, the surprise of this of this African Cup. Who do you think will win it?
I would really want to see this game. I really want to go see.
It's a strong game.
It's a very, very big game, if you ask me. It looks like one of the most interesting pairings of the round of 16.
Algerian media were not that happy with the Congo. They kind of criticized the CAF, but it's the draw. The draw made them play against. So as any national team who want to be champion shouldn't complain or
criticize. Not at all. I mean, if you want to win, you have to be the best.
Exactly.
I mean, the draw is such that
whoever you play with,
you have to find a way of winning. For the Algerians, well, having won their first 3 matches, I'm sure they would believe that, okay, compared to the last competitions, they did not do well. So they're thinking, okay, if we've won all 3, even with the likes of Riyad Mahrez in the final game, then maybe they can go a lot further into the competition. But this is the thing. I've watched the Congolese in the last 12 months. I think the last time I saw them lose in a game was when they lost 3-2 to Senegal at the Matar Stadium in a World Cup qualifier. They haven't lost a game in a very, very long time. And their coach, Desabre,
he was ex-coach of
Wydad. Yes. I think he's building a very, very fine team. In the last AFCON, the Congolese got to the semi-final, remember? Not too many people recall that. But the Congolese got to the semi-final of the last AFCON. And they've pretty much kept the same team. And beyond that, they have found a way to get in players who were, if you like, on the fringes of other national teams. So they found players from England in Aaron Wan-Bissaka and co. They found players from Belgium. They found players from France who were born in France or in Belgium or in England to get them to play. So these players have come in and brought in a certain level of quality into the team. One of the most outstanding players that I've seen in the first round of the competition is a young man called Noah Sadiki. He's absolutely brilliant for the team, but because he's not the most popular, nobody's talking about him. Everybody appears.
He plays for the local.
No, he plays in. He used to play for Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium, and now he's moved to France. He's not the most popular player, so nobody appears to be talking about him. Everybody is talking about, Cedric Bakambu and all of these other notable players in the team, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bongonda, Mbuku, Chancel Mbemba, and all of these players.
Very famous in Morocco
because
of the fight with the Walid Regragui.
Exactly. So these are the players people know, but collectively, I think that the Sabre is getting a lot out of this team, and they could this game could go any way. This is not going to be a straight one for any of the teams. It could just come down to minor details in deciding who gets to win this one.
You spoke about the upcoming star player of RDC of Congo, but even Algeria have Haj Moussa. He's a very, very good. I watched him in the last game. He played as he started in the starting 11. He was really good. And he scored a goal, if I'm not mistaken, and gave an assist. So he's probably one of the upcoming stars of Algeria.
It's always
11.
It's always great to see a young star coming through. I mean, in my country, the most famous Algerian player in my country is Rabah Majer.
He's here in Morocco currently.
From all those years ago, when Algeria won the Cup of Nations in 1990 was, and then when they won again in 2019, when you and I were in Egypt to cover the AFCON, if you look at the Algerian team collectively, they don't have. You take out Mahrez, who even plays in Saudi Arabia these days. They don't have the players who are playing for the known big clubs in Europe.
Not like the Moroccan.
That's right. So sometimes it can be an advantage to you when people don't really know you, and then you surprise them.
Yeah.
And then you put in the performance. So let's see how this game would go. I'm looking forward to a very, very interesting game.
Yeah.
That game between DRC and Algeria.
It will be played in the same stadium in where Algeria is playing. I think it's going to be an added value for the Algerian national team, and this is in the stadium of Moulay El Hassan in Rabat.
They're playing in Rabat,
yeah.
And I think they are very familiar.
Yeah.
They are very familiar with that venue.
Yeah.
Because they played Burkina Faso
All
there.
3 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So serves them well.
With the presence of Zinedine Zidane.
Well,
because his son is
a goalkeeper. Yeah, I really wished. I don't really want to go into those issues, but I recall that in 2019 there were lots of Algerian fans.
Yeah.
In their thousands who came to see every single Algerian game. But I know there are a bit of political issues with Morocco and all of that. I wouldn't get into those issues.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would have been a lot more Algerian fans who may have loved to come. It's not far from Algiers.
No, but
come here.
But if you look at the games, all the last 3 games, the stadium was almost all full. Like pretty much.
Are they Algerians who live here?
Algerians.
They live here?
And no, I mean they came from Algeria, from France, and I mean they were welcomed by the Moroccan authorities, by the Moroccan fans, by the Moroccan
that's fine.
Sports people.
That's fine.
They have no like the Moroccan citizens have no problem with the Algerians.
That's fine.
There was this picture I would like to share with you later. Is that there was this Moroccan lady, a Moroccan woman, who during the first game who welcomed the Algerian fans with the Moroccan tea, Moroccan cake, just right outside of the stadium. Like she did it in a she was not even sponsored by any political party or nothing. She did it by herself. She financed herself to do this and welcomed all the Algerian fans with the Moroccan patisserie and the Moroccan tea.
I'm reading that Riyad Mahrez has an Algerian Moroccan mother, an Algerian father.
Yeah.
So maybe the Moroccans can come and support them.
Yeah, of course. We have no problem. And of course, when they won in 2019, the first one to congratulate Algeria was His Majesty King Mohammed II on official letter. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
So the other game is Nigeria against Mozambique.
Ooh, this should be a straight one for Nigeria.
Yeah,
the Mozambicans. I think that's probably how far they can go. The Nigerians have too much, star quality and too much firepower. And for once, normally when Nigeria goes to a tournament, there are always backroom issues to do with money and all of that. I'm not hearing anything like that, and I think it's a lot of tranquility in their camp, which has transcended into the pitch, and that's why they won all their 3 matches, and they are scoring goals as well.
Yeah,
they didn't qualify.
They're highly strong.
Yeah. So it looks like in the absence of the World Cup, they are putting all their energy into the AFCON, and it's serving them well. I would really love to see them go very far.
Yeah.
There
is this thing that is not logic between the Nigerian championship, local players, and the Nigerian national team.
Yeah.
As a expert in the African football domain, how do you read this? These 2 things that are not similar to each other between the Nigerian league and the Nigerian national team.
It's pretty much, if you ask me, it's pretty much investment and money.
Yeah.
So if you go to Nigeria and you're a fan of the local game, the stadia is nothing to write home about. The fans barely come to the stadia to go watch the games because pretty much every young Nigerian talent wants to make their way abroad. So you have players who are leaving at 16, 17, 18, pretty much the top talents at that level. So every time you're watching a Nigerian team, whether it's at the African Cup of Nations or whether it's at the World Cup, almost all the players sometimes are foreign-based players because the league, with the greatest of respect, is nothing to write home about. The quality is not there. The financial investments are not there. The quality of the pitches are not there. The quality of the game itself in Nigeria is not at a very high level. So it's understandable why every young Nigerian talent wants to make their way abroad, get that experience, and of course make some money as well, and then get to play for the national team. It was only in 2013 when Nigeria won the Cup of Nations in South Africa, where Sunday Mba scored the only goal, and he happened to be just one of the few local players who were in the team. Played for Enyimba at that time, because Enyimba had won the CAF Champions League in 2003 and in 2004 as well. Yeah.
So the other upcoming game, by the way, this game will be played in the big stadium of Fes.
Okay.
One of it's a sports I call it a sports diamond. It's a beautiful stadium as well. It was rebuilt not long ago, and now it has a beautiful pitch with a beautiful infrastructure. So the next game is going to be between South Africa and Cameroon.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
going to be held in Rabat. Yeah.
That's another very interesting. That's another very interesting game. I've seen all the games involving the two teams. The Cameroonians would probably start as favorites for me, but the South Africans show gal.
Yeah.
They show grit. They show tenacity. They show a lot of energy. This generation of South African players want to show the world what they can do. Apart from the game against Egypt, where you clearly they lost that game, but pretty much dominated the second half because they had a player advantage.
They lost the game while Egypt were playing with 10 players.
Exactly. They couldn't find a way to win. But I mean, they won their first game. They got a very important result in the final game as well. They have 6 points. They qualified to the next stage of the competition. The thing with the South Africans is that they almost always score.
Yeah.
They find a way to score. But the challenge for the South Africans is conceding. They are almost always conceding. So even in the last game against Zimbabwe, they conceded 2 goals.
Yeah.
In the first game, they conceded a goal. In the second game against Egypt, they conceded a goal. So in every single game, they concede. At some point, you may not always be in a position where you end up winning, even after you've conceded. I think that the defense of South Africa would have to find a way to keep things tight so that even if they are going to be conceding, it's not going to be a disadvantage to the team. Then they would have to score a lot more goals. You look at the Cameroonians on the other side, and for me, I think that they have a bit more quality in the team compared to the South African team. So it will be pretty much 2 teams going at each other, wouldn't want to defend, of course, and it could just be anyone's day.
Yeah. The only, one of the most positive elements about the South African national team is their league. They have a very strong league, as you know, not only the men's league, but also the women's league with the Sundowns team.
That's right.
Kaiser Chiefs, with Orlando Pirates. And we know them because they always play quarterfinals or semifinals against Wydad of Casablanca, or in CAF with the Raja of Casablanca. So the South African league has been doing a great job towards their team. That's what we don't see, for example, in Nigerian team or even in Cameroon league, in which I think it's a very weak league compared to the South African league.
That's right.
So we spoke about the Moroccan national team and Tanzania during the beginning of our live show. But in case South Africa wins, they will be facing Morocco. And this brings us back to
the winner of Morocco-Tanzania.
Yeah, the winner of Morocco and Tanzania.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So with this said, the Moroccan supporters, fans, journalists have a very bad memory with the South African team, because everyone was qualifying Morocco to win against South Africa in the last team. We lost, I think 3-1 was it, or 2-1, with a very weak national Moroccan team that, they weren't as good as they were in the group stages or in the World Cup, because the Moroccan national team was coming through the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And then, of course, there were many injuries with Hakim Ziyech, who was the star of the team, and Boufal as well. Harit as well. He was back then star of Olympique Marseille. So let's say South Africa wins Mozambique. South Africa wins Cameroon. Morocco wins Tanzania. Do you think that will be the shock of the next round between Morocco and South Africa?
Well, the thing with that, the African, in case, of course, the thing with the African game is that there's almost always surprises.
Yeah.
It's not always a situation where you can just say, oh, this team is going to be that team, and it would work that way. You recall in 2019 that very funny experience of South Africa and Egypt in the round of 16. The Egyptians had won all their 3 matches. They were playing in front of 70,000 fans, 80,000 at the Cairo International Stadium. South Africa scored just 1 goal in the 87th minute, I recall. Thibenkonsi Loch scored the only goal, and the Egyptians could not equalize, and the Egypt went home playing in front of their fans. So that's the thing with African football. You can't just say this team would win or that team would win. It just doesn't work that way. There could be a lot of surprises. Who knows? Let's wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. So with this said, we will close the sports subjects and open the subject about the Moroccan Kingdom organizing this AFOCON 2025. We know you have a big experience in covering previous African Cups. What do you think of this edition of the 2025 edition held here in the Moroccan Kingdom?
I honestly think that you guys have taken this to a very high level.
Yeah.
I have been to the African Cup in 2008. My country hosted it in Ghana. In 2010 in Angola. 2012 I was in Gabon, Equatorial Guinea. 2013 South Africa. 2015 back again in Equatorial Guinea.
Wow.
2017 I was in Gabon again. 2019 in Egypt. 2022 in Cameroon I didn't go. 2024 in La Côte d'Ivoire I was there. I have to say that the facilities you guys are using is at a very high level, a very, very high level. One of the things that blew me away, I always knew that the stadium for the host nation in Rabat was going to be at a very high level. So I wasn't really surprised at the facilities I saw when I went there. But what really got my attention was when I went to Tanger. The facility you guys have put up in Tanger is a well-capped stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about the stadium, from the quality of the pitch to the stadium itself, to everything about the stadium environments, the press conference rooms, the mix zones, the stadium architecture, the media section, the fans, the acoustics in the stadium. I don't know how much you guys invested into that stadium, but that's a very high level. And then, of course, my experience in Rabat. And then even here, the old stadium in Casablanca, it's a very old stadium, but I see that you guys have modernized a few things there.
The conference room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very high level
The
for African
VIP as
standards.
well, yeah.
The VIP, section as well.
Tribune as well.
That's right. I haven't been to Marrakesh, but I'm told it's fabulous. Fes is looking fabulous. This is the thing. I think that you guys have elevated the standards to a very high level.
Yeah.
Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania have a lot of work to do as far as the next one is concerned, because they are going to be hosting it. They can't afford to reduce the standard. They would have to up the standard. But this is what would help Morocco. Whatever facilities you're using now, you are preparing yourself for the World Cup.
Exactly.
In 5 years' time. And I'm even hearing you guys might be interested in 2028. I don't know.
Why not?
I'm hearing you guys might be. I mean,
because
it would help.
The new stadium of Casablanca will open.
Would
will be in the region of Ben Slimane.
And you have
the biggest stadium in the world.
That's right.
And in terms of seats.
That's right. And you have to test it.
Yeah.
You need a competition to test yourself. I mean, 5 years to the World Cup is a very long time. So, in my opinion, I think that Morocco should get another opportunity. If you ask me, I don't know whether it's going to be the FIFA Club World Cup in 2029, but you need a competition to test your facilities ahead of the World Cup in 2010.
Yeah.
That's my in 2030. That's my opinion. I hope you do get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you push for it, but I hope you do get it because your facilities are amazing.
When World Cup 2030.
2030, you have it. It's done.
Yeah.
But 2028 or 2029, if you can host something,
African Cup,
yes,
maybe,
if you can host something so that you can test, your facilities, because I think that's for the stadia, you are okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Tanger can easily host World Cup matches today.
Yeah.
If there was a World Cup today, Tanger can easily host the matches. Rabat can easily host the matches. The new stadium you're going to build can easily host the matches. Even the stadium in Fez, that's 40,000.
Yeah.
Is it 40?
Agadir almost around 60,000 as well.
Agadir almost 60,000 as well.
Marrakesh,
40,000 thereabout. They can easily host World Cup matches. Easily host World Cup matches. The other part of the conversation would have to do with the other infrastructure.
Yeah.
So roads, railway.
Yeah.
Airports.
You have tried the fast train, the
yes.
TGV. What do you think about it?
Brilliance. Yeah. I mean, I did from Casa to Tanger was 2 hours 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you like the maths, let's do the maths. It is 338 kilometers. In 338 kilometers, if you're doing rail, that is very fast. In 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Yeah.
I am sure in 5 years' time, you probably will do faster ones that would go to maybe the new stadium or to Fez or to Agadir or to Marrakesh or to any of the other venues that would do it. Your routes are first class.
Yeah.
You have a lot of hotels all over. So I don't think that fans will struggle with hotels. You have very good airports. I came through Casablanca, but I know you have Rabat Saleh.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other airports because I've not been there.
Pretty much all the African cities that are hosting the African Cup have airports. Agadir has an airport. Marrakesh has an airport.
Okay.
Tangier has an airport. Fas has an airport. Casablanca, of course, is
So you're good. I mean, because if you're hosting a World Cup, this is what you need. And for Morocco, you're lucky because you're very close to Europe.
Yeah.
So normally you have a lot of the teams.
There's the ferry as well from Tarifa to Tangier.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have
45 minutes ferry.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. That's nice. You have a lot of teams almost always coming from Europe.
Yeah.
Because the Europeans have more slots at the World Cup. Yeah. So if you have a lot of teams coming from Europe, what that means is that, for example, if Spain is playing at the World Cup, or Portugal, or England, or France, or Belgium, or Holland, you can even have fans who can fly from Brussels or Amsterdam or Madrid or Barcelona or Lisbon or Porto or even in Italy.
Yeah.
Just fly 2 hours. Come and watch a match and go back.
Exactly.
They don't have to sleep here if they want.
They can even come by car because between Spain and Morocco there is the ferry, and then you're in Tangier.
And you're in Tangier. So if, for example, your country is playing in Tangier, come by boats, watch the match, go back home.
There is ferry every hour till midnight. Yeah.
So you don't
3 different companies.
Oh, that's nice. And I'm sure in 5 years you guys would even do more.
Yeah.
So you guys are so strategically placed, geographically. And I think that would serve the world with some great stuff when the World Cup is played. If you ask me, Morocco should be hosting the World Cup alone.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be hosting with Spain and Portugal. Sure. It's not fair towards Africa. It creates an impression where it looks like we can't do it ourselves. Yeah. We can't do it ourselves.
South Africa did it.
Why not Morocco? Yeah. And Morocco has been bidding to host the World Cup since I was a child.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you have
2006, 2010, 2018, 2022, 2026.
You can. I mean, Qatar hosted the World
against Mexico, America, the last.
That's right.
Before winning this.
Because Qatar hosted a World Cup with 8 stadiums.
Yeah.
In a very small country.
But Qatar had a problem with the hotels, like the number of fans that were
exactly,
and the number of hotels couldn't stand the number of fans.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you guys have very fine stadiums,
and we have like a big amount of hotels all around.
All over. Yeah. I mean, here in Casablanca, where we are, there are hundreds of world-class hotels. I mean, there are restaurants all over the place.
What do you think about the economic capital of Morocco, Casablanca? Speaking about Casablanca,
it's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
I since I've been here, I am in a location called Boussejour.
Yeah.
I am around that area.
It's and close to the Raja and Ouida academies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's fabulous. I mean, the fans, the people, very welcoming people, very nice people. The food is great. I mean, I move around like I'm a Moroccan. I've only been here for 8 or 9 days, but I'm very much familiar with everything. The people are very nice people as well. They are very welcoming, very hospitable. So, I mean, well, it is what it is. You're going to do it with Portugal and Spain. But if you ask me, I think that Morocco could have done this alone.
Yeah. As an African journalist, are you proud of what Morocco has been achieving lately, as terms of infrastructure, sports infrastructure, and of course as terms of results in different in the youth categories, winning the World Cup of the U20?
That's right.
It's African pride, no?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, when you set out in any company, in any organization, you need a plan to succeed. What you guys have done is to build one. You have a very strong local league.
Yeah.
And you have teams that consistently do well on the continents. I mean, in the last 7-8 years, Wydad, Raja, RS Berkane have always been winning something. Your local league is very strong.
Yeah.
Beyond the fact that you have a very strong local league, you're drawing attention to the national side with your performance. Yeah. We saw what happened in Qatar. You have a very fine FA president in Mr. Lekjar, who is building something great. And he's working with a plan. So from 2018, when you won the CHAN, 2018,
here in Casablanca.
Here in Casablanca. And then you had Moroccan teams consistently performing at a club level, winning the CAF Champions League, winning the CAF Confederations Cup with Berkane, winning the U20, winning the CHAN in Tanzania and Uganda when they hosted it recently.
And the Arab Cup.
Winning the Arab Cup.
Yeah.
and now hosting the World Cup. So you guys are clearly working with a plan.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you would want to go like this, but if you continue like this, I won't be very surprised that Morocco will dominate African football for a very long time to come. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. And would like also to invite you, of course, to visit the Moroccan, the Mohammed VI Center.
Okay.
Which is a beautiful, beautiful center in which all national teams go there for their camp before any competition.
Okay.
And there is also the Mohammed VI Academy.
Okay.
It was inaugurated by His Majesty King Mohammed VI.
Okay.
And 50% of the stars playing for the Moroccan national teams are pure products of the Moroccan Mohammed VI Academy, such as Unahi, Yusuf Nseri, Reda Tagnauti, who was the ex-goalkeeper.
Okay.
Naif Agred, and the list is very long. The U20 who have won the World Cup, 90% of the players are from the academy, Mohammed VI Academy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah.
I'd love to go and see there before I go back to Ghana.
Yeah.
By
the way, like most national teams train there because there were like 15 different grass fields.
Pitches.
Yeah, training pitches. Yeah.
Oh, and it's in Casablanca?
No, it's in Rabat.
Okay.
Yeah, the next close to the airport of Rabat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I go to Rabat, I'll go and see
the Moroccan training sessions and the Moroccan national team training sessions happen in the Mohammed VI Center, because there is a difference between the academy and the center. They're close to each other, but it's two different facilities. Beautiful sports facilities. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to go and see that before I go back. Yeah.
Thank you, Kwame, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And welcome to the Moroccan Kingdom. And this has been an honor to welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We'd like to thank the technical team with Mr. Alawi and all the 7TV members. Thank you, dear followers of 7TV, for watching. We had to do it in English today, other than the past episodes in which we have done it in Arabic. We would thank you for watching and see you very soon. Thank you.
للمزيد من المعلومات ما تنسوش تابونا وتفعلوا الجرس باش يوصلكم جديد لو 7 تي.
هذا البرنامج قدم لكم من طرف كوتي سبور. كوتي سبور منتوجة المغربية للألعاب والرياضة. MDGS نربحوا الرياضة.